So hear me out on this one. And you don't have to agree with me. I just want to give you something to think about. If a dog lives in a multi-dog household and one of the dogs is unpredictable, aggressive, a resource guarder, would that be similar to living in a domestic violence situation? I talked to some people about it, but they weren't quite on board. They said, dogs are pack animals. That's just how it works. There's always a dominant one. And I get where they're coming from, and that idea has been around for a long time. But honestly, I disagree. Because here's the thing. Even if you do believe dogs have a natural hierarchy, that doesn't mean it's healthy for one dog to live in fear of another. And in most homes, the setup doesn't exactly replicate the great outdoors. Our dogs aren't roaming across acres of land where they can spread out and avoid conflict or decompress in their own space. They're sharing a relatively small area, 4 walls, and often with no real way to escape each other. So they're competing for the same beds and furniture, the same windows to look out, the same 3-foot doorway to get inside and outside, that same tight kitchen where food prep happens, the same humans, the same hallway, the same bedroom. There's no pack dispersal here. There's no safe distance to get away and cool off. If one dog is resource guarding or posturing or snapping, the other dogs can't just opt out. They have to live with it. And even if nobody's getting physically hurt, that kind of stress, always watching your back, always checking the room before entering, it builds up. It shapes how a dog moves and sleeps and eats and interacts. And some of them, I think, probably just go into survival mode. To me, that's not that different from what people experience in abusive or high conflict homes. There's tension, there's uncertainty, there's nowhere to truly relax. And look, I'm not saying the aggressive dog is bad or that the owner is doing something wrong. This isn't about blame. A lot of dogs with aggressive behaviors are just scared, under-socialized, maybe in pain, or just doing the best they can with what they know. And this also isn't a call to action. I'm not saying you have to rehome or separate or make drastic changes. I'm just saying, let's look at the whole picture and ask those harder questions. Like, are my other dogs safe? Not just physically, but emotionally? Do they get to be themselves, or are they always deferring to keep the peace? And is the way we've set up our home working for everyone who lives there? No judgment, no easy answers. Just thought I'd give you something to think about.